Hey Beauts, how you doing during these strange times? Hope you're all okay. Hope you're all coping in quarantine, lockdown, whatever's happening in your part of the world. My heart goes out to any of you who've been personally affected by COVID-19. These are strange times indeed, and just remember we are all in it together. Anyway, I've not filmed for a while, so I thought I'd film a lockdown zombie. First thing I'm going to do is block out my eyebrows. You've seen me do this many times before. Now, I wasn't too worried about completely blocking them out because they would be completely covered later anyway. And the next step is to go in with some good old latex and cotton wool to build up these protruding eye sockets to make the zombie look really kind of skeletal. Once I was happy with the eye sockets, the next step was to build up some rotting areas, again with good old latex and cotton wool. Leave to dry. Now I'm just going to freeze frame here for a second just to explain a little something. I decided that I was going to do a new editing technique whereby instead of doing the voiceover like you hear now, I would be doing a little bit of explaining in between each stage and then just show like a speeded up version of the stage. Unfortunately, my editing package had other ideas and decided to unsync the sound with the picture, and I couldn't work out how to sort it out, so I had to think again. So in some parts of the video you'll see me talking over a silent version of myself like this. Now here I am explaining that I'm trying out a new technique, which is to use a two-part silicone and smooth it over the latex and cotton wool just to make it look more skin-like and translucent, because latex and cotton wool is great, it's cheap, it's easy, which is why I teach it on this channel, but it's very limited in what you can achieve. So I am taking a two-part silicone, part A and B, mix them equally, make sure you use a different spatula for each or clean your spatula thoroughly between. Do not double dip your spatula into both containers or they will set and they'll be ruined. So take equal parts of A and B and just mix them up, ready to go. I just eyeballed it. If you want to be a bit more scientific about it, you can measure it out in some way. And then basically just smooth it over the latex and cotton wool. Essentially what you're doing is the cotton wool and latex is the understructure, so almost like the bones and the muscles, and the silicone is the skin, and this will hopefully blend the latex and cotton wool into the skin a little bit more, and actually it worked pretty well. It's not foolproof, but it worked well, and it kind of up-leveled the latex and cotton wool a little bit. So it's relatively expensive to buy, so if this is not something you want to invest in, then feel free to skip this step. You don't have to do it. So what I'm saying here is that I have got all the silicone on the areas that I want it on, and I am just blending it in with some Vaseline. I also realised at this stage that the nose was looking a little bit too plain, so I decided to build up some texture there too. So once the silicone was set, I removed the excess Vaseline with some isopropyl alcohol, 99% alcohol basically. And here I am explaining that a little bit of the latex and cotton wool and silicone had come away, so I'm just repairing it with a bit more latex. And now it's on to my favourite part, which is the colouring. I'm using alcohol-based paints, but you don't have to use alcohol-based paints. You can use water-based face paints or watered-down eyeshadows, grease paints, whatever you happen to have. First of all, I'm stippling over some purple just to start to build up those real nice zombie, rotten flesh tones. It's so annoying that the audio didn't work because I had some real sort of comical moments I've managed to capture. Damn you, editing software! So once I was happy with the purple, I started going in with some yellow tones. Now I know it looks a little bit crazy at the moment, but trust me, it will all come together. You're basically creating the undertones of the skin, the sort of the colours that would be underneath the actual skin itself. Now the next stage is to work around the eye sockets. I did this because with a makeup like this, it's good to get the pivotal points in, which tend to be the features of the face, so the eyes, mouth, sometimes the nose. Now I'm using water-based face paints for this. Please do not use alcohol paints around your eyes because the skin is too sensitive and the alcohol is way too strong. So I'm just building up and stippling the colour, as you can see, purple and yellow. So what I'm saying here is how you can see that by colouring it in the eyes and the lips, it kind of brings everything together, and it allows you then to assess where you need to add some light tones, some dark tones, some detail. Just shows you where you need to get some balance. So now I'm going in with some red tones, just stippling like I did with all the other colours. Now here is where I went a little bit wrong. I started stippling some lighter tones over, but realised it looked a bit ridiculous, so went in with a sponge because I needed something a little bit more solid. I'm using water-based paints here because they're a little bit more opaque. Now here I was telling you that I mixed together some white, some yellow, some pink and some blue to make a nice dead zombie look. So once those lighter tones were on and everything was looking a bit more cohesive, I went back in with the alcohol paint and started painting in the rotten areas. So here I'm telling you that at points it's a good idea to sit back from your makeup and just assess whether any areas are looking too solid, too symmetrical, etc, etc. God damn you, editing software. It's small finishing touch details that take your zombie from here to here. Details such as shading around the eye sockets, which is what you'll see me doing next with some grease paints. To sell the illusion further, I took some different coloured eyeliners and coloured right in the waterline so you couldn't see any normal coloured skin. And finally, I painted my teeth with some alcohol paint and swirled some black food colouring in my mouth to paint the inside of my mouth. Right, so you can see how colouring the inside of your mouth just gives it that finishing touch. And here I should have been telling you not to use anything other than food colouring in your mouth because it is not safe. So please do not do it. Only use food colouring to colour the inside of your mouth. You can use alcohol paint or teeth lacquer on your teeth, but only food colouring to colour the inside of your mouth, please. Right, so this is the final look. My hair was messy enough, I didn't really have to do anything to it, but if yours isn't, you can back comb it, you can run some conditioner through, just to make it look zombified. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Sorry about the audio. Please give the video a massive thumbs up and like and subscribe. And thank you for watching. Love you all. See you next time.